There's an old adage in boxing, you're only as good as your last fight. Well, let me give you a variation of that adage. You're only as popular as your last fight. And I say this in relation to the undisputed fight, Anthony Joshua versus Tyson Fury. Because before Fury's incredible performance against Deontay Wilder last night, AJ was still very much the A-side. He's the one who'd filled out Wembley Stadium and the Principality and had broken British pay-per-view records, etc., on a consistent basis for several years. But since that time, he's lost to Andy Ruiz. And of course, the Ruiz rematch did tremendous numbers on Sky Box Office. But AJ doesn't have the faith of the British public the way that he used to. And following Tyson Fury's performance last night, I strongly suspect that Fury has won the faith of a lot of people who were previously believers in Anthony Joshua. And as such, Fury might be able to do AJ-type numbers in the UK in subsequent fights. It remains to be seen, of course, but I strongly suspect that. Again, not just because of the fact that he beat Wilder, but the manner in which he did it. I think that's going to win a lot of new fans for him in the UK. And more significantly than that, potentially, is how many fans Tyson Fury has in the United States. Because both Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn have both said that this AJ Fury fight will probably not be in the UK. It's going to be wherever the most money is. And that is either going to be somewhere like the United States or Saudi Arabia, or perhaps a different foreign territory. Now, I said several weeks ago that I thought it was a bit far-fetched to have AJ versus Fury in America, because America is a very insular country. They don't tend to be interested in anything outside of America for the most part. And I found it difficult to conceive of an AJ Fury fight in the United States doing good pay-per-view numbers over there, enough to justify what the fighters would want paying by way of their purses. But the nature of Tyson Fury's victory in the Wilder fight last night, the amount of support he got in the arena, and the reverberations it's going to send around America, not just in the boxing world, but in the world of sport and popular culture. I think Tyson Fury is going to become a massive star in the United States now, off the back of that. And therefore, the AJ Fury fight may well be viable in America now, commercially. And if that's the case, then Anthony Joshua is no longer the A-side. Because if they fight in America, Fury's the one who's going to be selling most of the pay-per-views in America. He's got a way bigger profile over there than AJ does. And therefore, he can justifiably ask for the lion's share by way of money. Yeah. Anthony Joshua and Eddie Hearn might actually have to live up to AJ's slogan and be humble and take the short end of the stick. The only way I think they can argue 50-50 at this stage is if the fight happens in Saudi or some other foreign territory. But certainly if the fight happens in the States, that's got to be a lion's share for Tyson Fury. I mean, perhaps even if the fight happened in the UK, I know it seems unlikely that it would happen in the UK right now, but perhaps if the fight happened in the UK, even then, could we say AJ's 50-50? Maybe, but let's say they can't get the deal done for the undisputed fight. Tyson Fury goes off and fights Dillian Whyte. AJ goes off and fights Pulev, Usyk, etc. What if Tyson Fury then pulls in way higher numbers for his fight against Dillian Whyte, his mandatory, than AJ pulls in against Pulev or Usyk? What then? Then Tyson Fury might go back to AJ later on in the year and say, okay, I'm going to offer you even less now. You should have taken the 40% when I offered it to you. Now you ain't even going to get 40%. Now you're going to get 30%. I think that Eddie Hearn and Anthony Joshua are going to need to humble themselves here and realize that sometimes you got to make short-term sacrifices for long-term gains. Sometimes it's not about, or not just about the money, it's about the opportunity. Because if AJ beats Tyson Fury, becomes undisputed, we're now talking about Hall of Fame level. That's where AJ would be. That's the opportunity he should be striving to try and get. For Tyson Fury right now, he's in the driving seat as far as I'm concerned. The momentum is with him. Again, it's not just about what he's sold in the past by way of pay-per-views and tickets. It's the fact that he is perceived to be the best heavyweight in the world right now. I would say maybe by the majority of boxing fans in the world. And he's got a strong fan base in America, a strengthening fan base in the UK. Whereas with AJ, a lot of people who were diehard AJ fans before, yeah, he managed to appease them a bit by winning his belts back against Ruiz, but he didn't do it in a fashion which gives people a tremendous amount of confidence in him. So that's why I say the momentum is with Tyson Fury. So if AJ in particular, more so than Hearn, because Hearn is just the money man, right? He's just a promoter. He's just after the money. But for Anthony Joshua, if he really cares about legacy, he needs to humble himself and go into the negotiation with Fury with a view to just getting the fight done. Obviously, he can't allow himself to get bent over completely, but if Fury tells him, look, we're going to fight in the States and it's going to be 60-40 to me, I think AJ should take that. Because the opportunity is even more valuable than the immediate payday. Because if he was to win that, his paydays are going to go so crazy, it's going to blow his mind. And he's already had crazy paydays already, right? So yeah, that's what I think about the undisputed situation. Now, of course, there's also the issue of networks. AJ signed to Sky in the UK. Tyson Fury signed to BT. They could do a cross-network collaboration the way Fox and ESPN did for this Wilder Fury rematch. But in the United States, that's where it's more problematic, particularly if they fight over there. Because in the US, you've got Tyson Fury on ESPN, and they do pay-per-view, and they charge, I think, $80. I believe they charged $80 for this fight. Correct me if I'm wrong, the Wilder Fury rematch. Then you've got AJ on DAZN, and DAZN only charged $20 a month. So you can't do a cross-network fight for Fury versus AJ in America at this stage because everybody's just going to get it on DAZN. Nobody's going to get it on ESPN. Yeah, DAZN charging $20 for a month, ESPN $80 for a night. So they'd have to work something out there. If the fight didn't take place in America, then maybe it wouldn't matter so much. But if it's taking place in America, that's going to be a big stumbling block. Now, Eddie Hearn did say in the past that DAZN can do pay-per-view. He said that they won't and they're not planning to, but theoretically they can do it. So maybe for that fight, that would be a way of solving that issue of just doing a pay-per-view on the night so that they can do the fight on both networks. Or the other possibility is that AJ leaves DAZN for a night and fights on ESPN. Again, DAZN are going to have to see it as a necessary risk. Because if AJ comes back with that WBC belt to add to his 3 existing belts, then it was worth allowing him to go over there and fight on ESPN, you know? So they're going to have to take that risk. And to my knowledge, AJ doesn't have a long-term contract with DAZN, but I think they have first refusal on his fights. Correct me if I'm wrong. Which means, you know, they get to decide if they want to put his next fight on their network or they can pass it up if they choose. So will they say, you know what, go ahead and fight on ESPN and we'll see you on the other side? Or will they try and block it and say, no, we're not going to allow AJ to go over there and fight on ESPN. We want him to fight here on DAZN no matter what. We want to make sure that the Fury fight happens here, not there. I hope that don't happen. Hopefully not. And it might sour AJ's relationship with DAZN if they were blocking the fight in that way. But again, Eddie Hearn has said that AJ can go and fight on other networks. So we'll see. But I'll leave you with that, people. If this fight is in the United States, and look, again, just to reiterate, for me, it was far-fetched to have AJ versus Fury in America. But that was before this performance Fury put on against Wilder. I think this is going to catapult his commercial value in America through the roof, Tyson Fury, that performance against Wilder. And therefore, maybe now it is commercially viable to have Fury versus AJ in America. And as such, if the fight happens there, you got to say Fury's the A-side and deserves the bulk of the money, if that's where the bulk of the money is coming from. Obviously, they're going to get UK pay-per-view, but the American side of things, you have to say Fury's going to deserve more. It is what it is. It's not about how many belts you've got. It's about how many pay-per-views you can sell. Because I've already seen some people say, well, yeah, AJ deserves 50-50 or more money because he's got more belts. Well, it's not about belts. It's about how many pay-per-views you sell and how many tickets you sell. How many people are willing to pay to watch you fight? That's the bottom line. You could have no belts at all. Right? When Mayweather was the pay-per-view king, he would come out of retirement with no belt and he would get paid way more than the guy he was fighting that had a belt. He did that consistently because he was the ticket seller, not the other guy. So it's not about belts, okay? It's not about necessarily what you morally deserve. It's just about your commercial value. How many people are willing to pay to watch you fight? And in America, a lot more people, I have to imagine, are willing to pay to watch Tyson Fury fight than are willing to pay to watch AJ fight. So AJ better hope that he can somehow entice Tyson Fury to Saudi Arabia. Tyson Fury had said before that he wouldn't fight in Saudi. It would have to be in America. If they can somehow entice Fury to fight in Saudi, then maybe AJ can get his 50-50. You know, split it 50-50 in the UK, split the upfront site fee the Saudis will pay 50-50 down the middle. But, you know, we'll see. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. It's happening. Batman merch is now available. We got t-shirts, vests, hoodies, and more. Just click the link below. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.